Now, why did I start with hindsight is 2020? Sometimes we don't see the impact of our decisions, or we don't see the big picture until a certain passage of time. Only after you've seen through that time and you look back, then you have clarity. When you say vision is 2020, 2020 is perfect vision. So after a certain passage of time, then you can see the impact, whether the decision you made was right or not. So when I started my very own Takaful journey, I started with a particular frame of mind. By the time I was 14 years old, I had gone through 3 major surgeries. I had gone through a burst appendix, and I had 2 major hernia operations. That's why it's important to have support when you lift weights, even when you're young. But I'm digressing, of course. So at that age, I've already had the awareness of whatever can go wrong will go wrong. Malang memang tidak berbau. Who would have thought? You know, at 14 years old, I remember sitting in that hospital bed and going, why me? Why did this happen to me? And that was just 14, yeah? And so with this disposition, I decided to take my first policy at 25 years old. Sebab malang tak berbau kan. So already at that age group, I was the first among my peers to actually sign up for policy. Because I worked for myself, I already realized that, okay, I got to get my savings up first, and then my insurance element, then only I start investing. So I was at that stage of my life, and when I took my first policy, I did it comprehensively. I wanted to do things right. So not only did I get a personal accident, I also took critical illness and the works. And it bore fruit at 29. In just 4 years, I had my first truly horrific sports injury. I had a torn meniscus and ACL. And subsequently, since 29 to 35 years old, I've had 3 knee operations. Malang betul-betul tak berbau. Until the doctor, the surgeon himself said, hey, you again ah? Luckily, you got insurance. So looking back, I was already grateful that, thank goodness, I've gotten this coverage, especially when we had 3 knee surgeries. When you can't work, you don't earn any money. So income replacement was very important to me at that time. But what really struck me was when I was already a married man, I just celebrated the birth of my 3rd kid. My son was about 1 month old. When I felt uncomfortable, I had some health issues, and I went for a check. I still remember that day, my wife was with me. She sat down with me, we faced the doctor, and the doctor, very unfeeling, very unfeeling. He just took up the report. Okay, it looks like you have a tumor in your stomach. It's about 5.5 centimeters long. It's about the size of a tennis ball. So when I heard all that, again, the last thing on your mind is, oh, does my insurance cover all this? Does my policy cover this? The 36 illnesses? No. That's the last thing on your mind. My mind was a complete blank. The only thing I was thinking about was, I just had my son in my hands. What's going to happen, you know? And thank goodness my wife was there. My wife was the one, she saw my face, and immediately she was, okay, no need to panic. Doctor, what do we have to do? Pop, very methodical. Well, for the first time in my life, I didn't know what to do. So, now, I've had the surgery for about 4.5 years already, and that's where hindsight is 2020. So I take a step back and I look back. If I did not make the decision to take up my policy all those years ago, man, not just the medical procedure itself, we're talking about, man, not just the medical procedure itself, the fact that I could not work, I was bedridden for almost 2 months trying to recover. There was no income. Thank God for income replacement. What really hit me also was the post-recovery cost. There was rehabilitation, there was physiotherapy to move certain muscles again, and each time we had a therapy session, it was 120 ringgit a pop. You had to do it for 6 months continuously. Every month, got a few sessions. And if it's down to my own pockets, I have to start counting my ringgit. How much can I afford for therapy? So, with the policy in place, all that was, you didn't think about it at all. All you had to think about was, I got to use this time to recover. My family needs me. My wife needs me. My children needs me. The last thing you want to think about is, does my policy cover all this? Will I have to berhutang? Kena saya minta duit daripada orang nak bayar hutang-hutang medical saya? No, to be a responsible parent, to be a responsible family man, you cannot put your family in that position. So, hindsight is 2020. Only when you've gone through all that, then you realize the clarity and how right you were in making those decisions. But right now, with your consumers or with your customers, they can't see that yet, see? So, a little note to agents, only in time will people realize the importance of comprehensive and flexible coverage. They won't realize it at that point in time, only when trouble hits. Only bila malang dah menimpa begitu. So maybe a note that I can share with the agents who are logged in at the moment. Your potential customer may have never been in that situation, but surely they've had a friend, they've had a relative, they've had a loved one who has been in that situation. If you can try to reflect on their hindsight, that would be a very effective tool in getting people to come on board. It's not about when it happens to you, don't worry, your family's taken care of, yada, yada, yada. It's about what happens after that. You can't earn money, you have to rehabilitate yourself. All that is cost. And that's cost you must consider if you want to get back on your feet, back on track, and give the best to your family.